I've heard whispers that you're a very deep sleeper.
I am.
And tend to schedule a lot of alarms.
I get deep in bed.
Yeah, same.
That's such a cool plug for your sex life. Some people plug their shows in these shows, some people plug their sex life. I respect that. Welcome back to the Sharehouse podcast, the place to air gripes and find compromise. My name is Mikey D. I'm the mediator. I'm joined by Joel Harris. And welcome back, Will Boyd. Do you go by William Boyd or just Will Boyd?
William Boyd, Will Boyd, Will.
You ever been called Liam?
No, I haven't.
Like to be?
No.
What is this bit?
I got a Billy in high school for like maybe a week, and then I told my mum, and she's like, no, we're having none of that.
Yeah, your mother's super against Billy, isn't she?
My mum named me after Will Smith, so
yeah, wow, that
aged
really aged
really well.
That's awesome.
Especially that I became a comedian.
Yeah. I was thinking the first episode we did with you, I was trying to summarize this thing to do like, sketch comic, comedian, podcaster. What would your like two subheadings be? 2 or 3?
I like podcaster. That sits well with me.
Yeah.
I don't like the word comedian, actually. I hate it. So like the back of the Uber chats, I don't like comedian.
Right.
It just feels a bit cocky. So I normally say performer or comic. I think comic's a bit like, I'm a comic. Because if you tell someone you're a comedian, first question that you get asked.
Tell me a joke.
Yeah, exactly. It's a nightmare. And I do sketch. So what am I meant to do? Break out into one of my, okay, really, let's talk about bees. Like, that's not, like, we're not doing that.
Yeah. You give the Uber driver one of the swats and he's swatting bees in his car.
I'm a physical performer. I can't do that sitting behind someone as they're focusing on the road. So, and also like a one-liner in the context of a dimly lit, when you're half drunk car ride to Melbourne isn't going to land anyway. So it wouldn't work for any comedian. So I don't know.
It's just a lame question that people need to get out of their brains. Like, oh, you're a doctor. Oh, yeah, diagnose me with something. Like,
And also, I've had a few bad experiences. Like, I occasionally work in schools as a teacher's aide just to pay rent.
Yeah.
And I had a bunch of year 9 boys one day in high school tracked down my Instagram.
No.
And saw a comedian on it. Yeah. And says, "Oi, sir, what are you doing here? Comedy not paying the bills?"
Oh,
I'm like,
so
no,
much.
it's not. That's why I'm hanging out with you guys. Yeah. Here, I would much rather be writing a show right now. But normally I am just in the classroom because I'm just like...
It's a good stage. I can see that.
Yeah, especially in like a year 9 class because I'm just... My job in that classroom is to sit up the back and make sure that 3 students don't get distracted and stuff.
Yeah.
Making spitballs or something. So I just sit there with a school laptop on Google Drive just writing my show. Yeah.
Shout out to the school.
I've been there before.
You saw my show. Like that whole Rupert bit came from a year 9 IT class.
That's brilliant. I love that.
Shout out to Springvale High.
Well. William Boyd, comic. I've heard some rumors about you.
Yes.
And they unsettle me.
What rumors?
So I'm bringing a gripe to the table right now.
Gripe time, baby.
I've heard that William
How
Boyd...
welcoming to be invited onto a podcast and then go, I've got a gripe for you.
You know what?
I've
So I'm ready.
Great. I've heard whispers. I've heard whispers that you're a very deep sleeper.
I am.
And tend to schedule a lot of alarms.
I get deep in bed.
Yeah, same.
That's such a cool plug for your sex life. Some people plug their shows in these shows, some people plug their sex life. I respect that.
I gotta find this man.
Will Boyd deep in bed. Before I start
The
mediating,
title of his next show.
I just want to say I hate people that set many alarms, but I'm going to say so impartial. You're not even going to know that.
Good.
Look, I've heard you set many alarms to try and wake up. Is my
Not
gripe.
often you walk into a courtroom, the judge goes, by the way, I hate when people run a red light. That's just my opinion. I'm going to leave it out of the next 2-day trial. All good. I am impartial. Like, no.
God help us if we're here for the next 2 days.
I'm the future.
Yeah. So I am a very deep sleeper. So I have a few things going on in bed.
Again, plugging the sex life.
I would also like to plug your podcast where you illustrate a scenario where you set a blanket on fire while falling asleep.
I quite literally had a pillow set on fire a year ago because I had my heater on next to my bed and the pillow fell off. And I woke up to smoke. Yeah, and there's a hole this big in my pillow. And
So, needless to say, your sleep is a problem.
it is. I sleep
dangerous.
hard.
To the gripe.
To the gripe. So I'm a very deep sleeper. That's one thing going on. The other thing is I have a little bit of sleep apnea going on. So like I'm not allowed to snore or anything. I just have like bad sleep efficiency. So I only sleep at like 60-70%. I've had a sleep study done. I need another one done. It's an old sleep study. But so I only sleep at like 60%. So your 8 hours sleep is my 5.5 hours sleep.
Okay.
So I always wake up feeling like death warmed up. So, and I work late nights. So I work at a bar. So I'm always getting home and getting to bed at like 1 a.m. And then if I'm not working at the bar, the creative juices start flowing at 2 a.m., don't they? So
Of
like
course.
I'll often try and get to bed at 9 p.m. and then wake up at midnight and like, oh, bees. I got to write a sketch about bees. And then I'll be sitting at the computer for 2 hours going, bee puns. Like, and then get to bed at 4. So yeah, I am always tired for the first hour after I wake up. I'm a deep sleeper. And that means I have to set a lot of alarms. Now, I have a bit of a process with alarms. I normally set about 10. Wow. So I normally I have to prime myself awake. So I'll get if they're saying waking up at 9:30, right? Which is an average day for me because I've got to bed late because of work, waking up at 9:30. Yeah. I will start the process at about 8:45. So I'll set 8:45, 8:50, 9, 9:05, 9:10, 9:15, 9:20. That primes me. Then my radio comes on at 9:20. So I have a radio alarm that blasts loud music. So then that gets me going. That primes me a little bit more to wake up, gets me out of my deep sleep. And then at 9:30, bang, I'm up with my main alarm. And then if I really need help, I'll get someone to call me awake. Because I always wake up to my phone call. But I can't set this is what I've learned over years testing this process. If I set my normal alarm to my phone call, like ringtone, then that loses the importance of the phone call. So I'll my brain will be like, oh, that's fine. You can just turn that off. So I'll turn off the phone calls as well as the alarms naturally without knowing I'm doing it. So my phone call is always different to my alarms. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Look, not saying that I hate you for who you are.
He's not saying that.
Okay,
I'm just not saying it. Yeah. I'm just wondering.
The judge is on the lawyer's side.
I'm just wondering if we can condense this 40-minute process. Maybe I've had a late night too and I'm sleeping in the bedroom next to you and I have to go through 40 minutes of blaring different sounds when I've earned to sleep in. You know, how does it play out in a Sharehouse environment?
A few different ways. So most of them are in negative lights, but they all have a different technique to abuse me in the morning. So one of the first people I ever had a Sharehouse with, Gemma, she used to come in and just sort of be like, "What are you doing? I'm sleeping in," and just yell at me. But it's all if someone is there, then I'm always awake. So if someone is opening my bedroom door, I'll wake up before they start talking to me. Okay. Gemma this morning woke me up by tapping on my window on my bedroom because she goes, "I'm coming at 9:30," and I'm like, "Well, I'm not planning to get up till 10." So then I was like, "You got to tap on the window on my bed to wake me on my bedroom window to wake me up." And she did, and I woke up straight away. That's how it works. So if there's a physical person's presence, I'm up.
I've got an easy compromise. I'll get paid to do this.
Make some money for the pod.
I'm wondering if it goes any deeper. Could there be a motion element involved, or is it has to be a person's presence? I don't know. I'm just curious.
Sorry, Joel. I can't change my disability.
How ableist are you, mate? I'm curious about within the bounds of your condition. What could we do to help you?
Well, I think I just need someone in bed. I need a partner, man.
It's a sex plug again.
Back in the days when I used to have a girlfriend, she used to be like, "Turn those alarms off right now," and that would get you going. I've had a few one night stands where there's been 10 minutes where I thought I was dead because I just couldn't wake up, and I was like, sorry, I'm awake. They're doing CPR.
His sleep apnea is so bad. He's like, "Oh, it's just minor." He's just not breathing between snores at all for minutes on end.
So a girlfriend alarm would if a potential girlfriend set an alarm, she wakes up to the alarm, could she give you a shake and that could be you up?
Yeah, that could wake me up. I don't know. I could live at home and get my mum to do it for me every day. I don't. But see, this is a little divergence here. My parents are separated. This will tell you why. So my mum and dad have very different techniques to wake me up. So I was woken up by my mum, like probably like Boxing Day, I think it was. I stayed at her house.
Yeah.
And she comes in, she's like, "Oh, hi, Will. Like, it's time to wake up." And like brought me breakfast and like a coffee. Like, she's an absolute sweetheart. My mum's the best in the world. My dad, 2 days later, I was at his house. We were going on a motorbike ride. No, we were going flying. My dad's a pilot. Whole thing.
Nice.
Seed drop. Yeah. Must be nice.
Not to do with sex
My
this time.
dad
It's
was a real
refreshing.
estate
And if you date me, you can come flying too.
in the bed. Sorry. Please continue.
And so he woke me up at like 4:30 a.m. because you want to like get that dawn flight in. So he woke
Yeah,
me.
don't we all know that's relatable?
So I had my alarm set at 4:15. Obviously didn't wake up because I'm priming myself awake. Dad comes in at 4:30 and goes, "Oi, fuckwit, get out of bed!" Like turns the lights on. I'm like, the divorce. There was a reason behind that divorce.
It's like
You
you're in
both
the
had
army.
Real different parenting techniques there.
That's awesome. Oh my God. Wow. Okay, we need to take a step back for a moment here because there's a lot of things at play.
Yep.
One, you have an illness,
Yep.
which gives you quite the inability to wake up.
Yep.
But then on the other hand, we've also got the realization that you can wake up eventually.
Yeah. I'm awake now.
Yeah.
I arrived here on time today.
Thank God.
I'm not completely like.
Jury's still out.
It's a weird and
I'm
wonderful.
not able to live life like.
You've been great. You've been great. All
yeah.
in jest.
Or is this a dream we're all having? Who knows?
I don't know. But
One cooked dream.
the main issue here, the main gripe, is that you're annoying your housemates with a severe amount of alarms going on.
Yes.
And that can be just absolute nightmare territory for everybody involved. And you've got to knock on the window away from the dreamscape that everybody needs. Joel, do you
Yes.
have any experience with anybody with an annoying amount of alarms or just someone hindering your sleep in the morning?
Yeah, I'm familiar with the setting alarms every 10 minutes. I used to see someone who would set that amount of alarms, but for every day, just to make sure that they got out of bed in the first place. And it was like, could we just do like one big one at the end when you need to get out? And my personal technique, I don't have sleep apnea, so this might just not be compatible with you at all, not saying that. But I put my phone in my cupboard, in my wardrobe, so I have to physically get out of bed and then turn it off. And then I'm like, oh shit, I'm up. I guess it's time to go. But when it's on the bedside, it's so easy to just keep snapping it off, you know?
Yeah, but do you remember snapping it off? Because I sometimes don't remember turning it off.
Yeah,
I've had moments where people have woken me up and I've gone hi and then gone back to bed and they've woken me up 10 minutes later and I don't remember the initial reaction.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Connor, my comedy partner, Connor Darryl, Conk, are you guys fans of How I Met Your Mother?
Of course.
So you know that scene where Barney wakes up Ted in the middle of the night?
Yeah.
And he goes, no. He's like, not now, Ted. Where do you keep your condoms?
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
So Connor's done that multiple times to me waking up in the morning. Like he will slap me awake and then go, not now, Will. Where do you keep your condoms? It's like 9 a.m. It's like, we got a podcast to do. But first, where do you keep your condoms? Bedside table. Another sex plug.
Primed and ready right there.
They're years old, but they're still good, I'm sure.
They're all out of date, but it's all good. Yeah, like, sorry, I totally lost where we were
No,
up
you
to.
just you
Yeah.
blank. You blank in the morning.
I blank.
That's tough, especially because it might not be loud enough for you when it's in the cupboard. Is that fair to say? If the phone's stashed in the cupboard.
Yeah, so I have to put the phone on the other side of the bedside table near my alarm clock. So I have a radio alarm clock and then my phone, and they work as a pair to get me out.
What if your phone was connected to a Bluetooth speaker that played a foghorn?
No, it wouldn't work.
Whoa.
I've slept through a fire alarm while my friend was cooking in the kitchen once.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty. There should be a Guinness World Record for this somewhere. My friends have genuine worries about me dying in my sleep from an emergency because I won't wake up because of it. Like, it's like, it is breathtaking how deep I sleep. I sleep hard.
I'm coming to think now, though. You said earlier off air you live by yourself. Is that correct?
I do.
Is that the compromise?
The content. Just don't live with people. Stay away from us, honestly.
Yeah, but then like the issue is sometimes I do need to get up early to go somewhere. So it's like, and I do occasionally sleep through them all and miss an important meeting. This happened a week ago, but it isn't this common. Like this is just happenstance. It happened a week ago. I did a 10.5-hour shift at a bar I work at, and then got to bed at 2 a.m. in the morning. Was meant to start at 11 a.m. the following day.
No.
Slept through, and no, I just passed out in bed. Didn't put my phone on charge. My phone was dead flat.
Bummer.
I'm also a type 1 diabetic, so I didn't do my nighttime injection. So I woke up feeling like absolute trash.
Yeah.
But I woke up at 1.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, so I woke up 2 hours after I was meant to start.
Oh, that's
and
tough.
I quite literally had a panic attack, putting all my clothes on, shoes on. And then funny, like I was driving to work fully well knowing that I'm about to arrive unannounced, 2 hours late. Everyone thinks I'm dead. And I don't know what they've tried to contact me on, how many people have tried to contact me.
Because they're dialing, but
my phone's flat. So I get to work and immediately everyone's like, ha ha ha, you have the audacity to rock up now. And I had a mate, so the bar manager, I'm the supervisor, he's the bar manager.
Yeah.
We were talking about it and he goes it was all fine. It was all good. It wasn't a busy day. And he was like, it was interesting setting up. He was like, at the hour mark, we were kind of like, half an hour mark. He's like, oh, where's Will? Like, he's not here. That's interesting. And then at the hour mark, shit, Will might be dead. This is worrying. And then the hour and a half mark, Will better be dead. Yeah. He's not. And then 2 hour mark, he will be dead if he arrives. And and I had 30 missed calls from the owner, from the other manager.
Tough.
Yeah. It's super embarrassing. As an adult, you can't even wake up.
I have two things.
Yeah.
You need doctors, not two white guys with a podcast. Secondarily, Joel, he's played 2 illness cards here. I just don't think what you're going to say is going to trump
Have
it.
I said it yet?
No.
Have I said it?
By the way, I haven't even meant to do that. I'm just telling my truth.
Yeah.
So,
please, as you should be able to on this platform.
If I can, though, I absolutely get hating someone that wakes you up. I get the whole lights. I'm a deep sleeper. There are many people that are light sleepers.
Yeah.
My mum, I remember growing up with her, if she woke up from any noise outside, she's up all night.
Yeah,
she can't get back to bed.
Yeah.
That's tough. I can see how what I do is really, really annoying. But yeah, funny you say. I think the solution is just off, live by yourself, which I've done.
Or, you know what? There is a way of establishing in a share house, if you're living with good enough people, hey, I need to wake up at this time. If you're up at the same time, if you're in that blessed situation, can you just wake me up, please?
Yeah.
And I think that's a fair ask. If it's in the realm of, if you need to wake up at 9:30 and they wake up around 9:30 every day, can you just come knock on my door and make sure that I get up?
I've done that, multiple times. Connor's done that for me. Connor wakes me up all the time as well because he knows I'm a deep sleeper. So I got to work.
He knows the
and
techniques.
when I turned my phone on at work, 10 minutes later, Connor called me. And he's like, you dead? I was like, no. Why don't you? He goes I have 3 missed calls from your boss. Who Connor doesn't even know. Because it's so funny. My emergency contact at work is not Connor, but everyone knows that I'm so close with Connor that everyone's just like, let's call Connor. And so Connor got 4 missed calls being like, hey, mate, I think your comedy partner might be dead. Yeah. Can you check in on him? And he's like, oh, no, it's all good. I've been there before. He'll just be asleep. But yeah, no, it isn't. It is, it's probably the biggest insecurity I have is my sleep patterns. It kind of sucks.
Because in a share house situation, there is I can easily lean towards an understanding angle because that's something that you suffer through and live through, and that's just what. If you're going to share home with someone, you want them to understand that that's something you go through and that is a thing.
Yeah.
And in that scenario, it's you got to, you got to take that understanding platform and be like, okay, well, I'm here for you if you need anything. And I think establishing that as a share house dynamic would be really important.
I think that's the absolute compromise there, though, because I've lived in both situations. I've lived in situations where everyone's just got angry at me.
Yeah.
And it's I get it, and I'm actually angry at myself. I don't need you to be angry at me as well.
Yeah.
I just need you to be on my side here a bit.
Yeah.
100%.
I can start listing things that make me pissed about you. If you want to start counting eggs, I'll start. If you want to start counting your chickens, I'll start stomping eggs. It's not. Yeah, no, I think that's the compromise.
But
Like,
also
just being
'cause-
on your side, being like, okay, well, good. Well, what can I do to help here? Like,
Yeah.
I'll come and like if you wake up every day at this time, cool, just knock on my door. Like I'll get up. That would really help me. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Because upon first hearing it, I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, why do you set this many alarms? Like how? But like upon hearing that, it's like, no, you've clearly taken measures to try and like aid it and help your
Yeah.
situation that just don't work. And like that, okay, great. Like I know you've taken that effort.
And then it's also the idea like sometimes, and this is I don't know. Would be interesting to get a mediation on.
Yeah.
So sometimes people,
Right.
you've come to the right place, buddy boy. So sometimes I've said to people that I live with, "Can you wake me up?" And they've gone, "Yeah, no worries, all good." And I've still set alarms.
Yeah.
And that's pissed them off because then as they're getting up, they're hearing my alarms go off.
Yeah.
They're going, well, why did he ask us? And that's me going, well, I want to be independent still.
Sure.
I want to try to get myself up. So it's like that annoys them. Thoughts on that? If someone's said yes to waking me up, should I still set an alarm or not?
I would say on your end, you've got to have a air of trust at first, the first time you've asked that person. And if you trust them the first time and they do it, then don't set alarms for the future times because
Yeah, right.
you've given them the opportunity to step up to the plate. They've done a good job.
Okay.
Whereas if it's the first time you ask someone to do something, like, hey, can you bring me lunch today? I'm starving. And then you have lunch there. You're saying to that person, I don't trust you're going to bring me that
Hey,
lunch.
can you drive me to work? It's like, well, where are you, mate? Oh, I'm in an Uber. I didn't think you'd come. No, fair call. That's
It's
a
a
great
trust
analogy.
exercise, yeah.
All right, good.
I think we've found a compromise.
I think we've compromised.
Your position is very specific to the sleep apnea as well. I think for
Yeah.
people out there that don't have sleep apnea, but are just maybe inherently lazy.
Well, I think
the
the sleep apnea is like I just wake up super tired, and that
Yeah.
sometimes makes it a little bit worse.
Yeah.
But naturally, I'm just a very deep sleeper.
Sure.
So that's the main issue. Like it can be worse every now and again, but like there are plenty of deep sleepers out there.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Look out for your mates that are deep sleepers.
Yeah, maybe put headphones in. There's definitely some for people that maybe don't have the reasoning that you have behind
Yeah.
yours. There's alternatives, but ultimately we have an episode coming out at some point, or it's already out. We're not sure about choosing your share housemates
Yeah,
and
right.
things that you should disclose and things that you should
Could be
say
a
that
fun
you
little
want.
surprise.
Yeah. Like you've just got to disclose these things early on and you've got to let other people know so that they might be comfortable with that. They might not. They might say, hey, I'm actually a deep sleeper as well. This could work in our favor if we both have alarms going
Yeah.
in the lounge room that wake both of us up or all
Yeah.
three of us up. Just a conversation to have, which is always ends up boiling down to that. I don't think we need to pile onto you. It's not your fault.
Not at all.
Thanks.
I
You
think we've
live with
reached
genuine
compromise.
understanding people, like, yeah. Or if they turn out to be dickheads who hate you for it, it's like, you know, you don't want to be friends with them, and that's that.
Been there.
Thanks for being vulnerable. We really
No worries.
appreciate
Thanks for
that.
having me. It's
Thanks
been
for listening to the Sharehouse.
Please,
Enjoy.
anything you want to plug?
plug.
Sex
Yes.
life. Sex life.
You can find me on Tinder at
Sex
tinder.com/William Boyd.
You can
Fucking
follow
Tinder
my
gold.
OnlyFans if you want. No, so I have a podcast of my own called Friend of the Pod, which is a fun little sketch comedy podcast. Friend of the Pod on all platforms. Whatever platform you're currently listening to this on, we are also on.
As long as you listen to us first.
Except YouTube. If you're watching, if you can see me looking at you right now, don't search us up on YouTube. Like that.
We actually only use iTunes. We hand out USBs in public, so it's a very niche exclusive
Yeah,
podcast.
right.
Sorry,
Yeah.
man.
We go analog, man.
We've got to find a way to compete.
We go on cassettes only. But yeah, so Friend of the Pod is my podcast. My two Instagrams is William Boyd _ on Instagram, and Smelling Good Productions is my comedy production company with Connor Dariel. So yeah,
Brilliant.
Gorgeous. Find us at Sharehouse Pod or email us sharehousepod@gmail.com. Send us your grievances and we'll discuss them on air.
Beautiful. Hey, make sure to say to somebody today that you love them. It's important. Bye now.